Good Friday morning, everyone. We made it to the weekend. Woohoo! Today we've got a great interview with Kevin Smith. Kevin was the very first self-advocate coordinator for West Virginia and actually helped bring People First to the state. We'll hear some history as well as what Kevin is doing to stay home and stay safe. That's all coming up in just a few minutes. But first, we'd like to let you know that we constantly update the information on both our People First of West Virginia page and on our website, www.peoplefirstwv.org. Check them out today.
That's right, Liz. The information changes daily and sometimes hourly, whether it's from the federal government like Social Security or the IRS, or Governor Jim Justice when he makes announcements about schools or other things, or the local health department. So we keep a list of links to all of the most updated information so that you can get it straight from the source and don't rely just on what somebody heard or posted on Facebook unless it's from an official Facebook page of that agency. You'll get the right information right on that spot at peoplefirstwv.org.
And we're also concerned with your physical, mental health, and safety. As the days stretch on, you may feel overwhelmed. So while we certainly want you to stay home and safe and keep washing your hands, make sure you do things to relax and take your mind off things. If you do need help, there are links available for WV211 or WV211 from the United Way, Help for WV, and other agencies that you can call in your area if you have any mental health concerns.
And so you don't have to listen to the whole program to find a favorite interview, since we repeat these things about the web page each time. You can find mindfulness or music. We have a section for the links below the list at peoplefirstwv.org where we've got those interviews all separated out so you can then just go to a particular one and enjoy it whenever you like. But now it's time for today's interview. Joining us on the line is Kevin Smith, and Kevin actually brought People First to West Virginia. So let me back up a little bit before Kevin. People First, actually, if you're not aware, is a self-advocacy movement started in Sweden back in 1968 when a Swedish parents' organization for children with developmental disabilities held a meeting, and the organization's motto was, "We speak for them," which meant the parents were speaking for the children. So the people at the meeting decided they wanted to speak for themselves and made a list of changes they wanted made to their services. And so then over the years, into the early 70s, there got to be bigger conferences and conventions. They had a convention in 1973 in British Columbia, and then in 1974 it made it to Salem, Oregon, and then throughout the 70s and through the 80s there were several international conferences, and then we get up to today where now there's People First and self-advocacies in 43 countries, more than 17,000 members or more, and there's more than 800 groups in the United States. And the group in West Virginia is here because of Kevin Smith. So Kevin, kind of take us through, how did we get to where we are now? How did you first find out about People First, and then talk about why you thought it was important to bring it back?
The ARC invited me to go to Nashville, Tennessee. And I thought, well, I wasn't doing nothing that weekend. Why not? I thought I would meet a country music star. And what I met was learn about all my rights that I was not using and how to use them. And I don't know why it just clicked with me about my rights, because I had my own apartment. I fought my way out on my own, but I was not fully applying myself as much as I could. But after that conference, they taught me what my rights were in housing. I've had many managers to really come after me for housekeeping things and stuff like that that shouldn't happen. And I found out through that I had rights in housing. I had rights as a human being. And the council sponsored my trip. And on the way back, I was told that I was going to present what I learned in a month. And just luck happened, I took a cassette tape recorder and taped all the sessions that I was in. And for the next month, I crammed like a person in college. And there was 2 more self-advocates went with me. And when I was last one on the panel, and when they passed me the microphone, I was prepared because I had the tapes and I remembered everything on the tapes, and I just took the microphone and really went for it. And the director of the DD Council at that time says, "Kevin, you've got a long history with our agency." And I've been in and out of self-advocacy for over 20 years. And one thing that I heard 1,001 times that weekend is that with developmental disability people, you've got to repeat yourself, repeat it, do segments over and over and over to get them to stick with them. And that's one thing that throughout my time of being with the ARC, and I tried to do.
Well, you've done an incredible job, Kevin, and I know you've been a great resource to me in my time here at the ARC, and actually even before I worked here, when I was on different committees and groups with you. Can you tell us, for people that are listening, what you think is the most important part of People First?
Most important part of People First, you've got to want to make a change in the world that you live in, or in your own life first. And you've got to have something to put into it to get something out of it. And to me, I always try to carry the same enthusiasm that I had when I went to Tennessee, because I wanted people to get the same thing that I've got out of Tennessee. And that's why I opened all conferences that I did up at Jackson's Mill with enthusiastic, try to motivate them as they came in to the conference, because I wanted them to take away same thing as I took away from Tennessee that year. Don't know whether I'd done that or not, but that was my motivation. always doing that.
Well, over time, we've encouraged people to get involved and do things and take some action, and you've actually been involved in actually doing things, because we take people to Charleston, and some of them will write letters and speak and advocate, and others are a little more reluctant because they're not exactly sure what types of things they can be doing, or they have a different skill set and may not be as articulate in speaking, but they might be better at letter writing. What kinds of things would you encourage our other self-advocates to do to actually take some action?
They have to have something to change in their lives. Like I said, you've got to put something in to get something out. And if you don't put something in, how are you going to get something out of something if you don't put anything in? And the staff can't do it for them. They have to do it for themselves. I know self-advocacy has got a lot of people that no longer with us that has built self-advocacy in West Virginia. And maybe if, like that one segment that I done when I couldn't be at the meeting, me and Doug had taped a meeting that I was supposed to be the keynote speaker, but I done the history of going to Charleston, where we passed out payday candy bars, and our whole purpose behind passing them candy bars out was to get the legislature sponsor a bill that they would put money in to a bill for our job coaches and stuff like that, so we could have a payday.
Very good. And so I know that one of the important goals of People First is to encourage people to speak up for themselves, which is what you've been talking about, ownership. And there are lots of ways that people can speak up for themselves. I know you just shared you can go in person, or if you can't be there in person, you can send a video. What other ways can you get in touch with legislators and other influential people in the community to share your important message?
Well, you can start by being to know your legislator personally by always showing up down at Charleston. I know we have one person, Senator Boley, seen her out at Walmart and walked up to her and started talking to her because she spent years coming to Charleston. And that says a lot when maybe you're going to church with your representatives, you get to know them. In fact, last year before last, I was going to D.C. for a board that I'm on, and coming back, I sat across the aisle from Shelley Moore Capito on the way back. And I knew that she was on her private time, and I didn't bother her throughout the flight. But when she got up to leave, I reminded her that we needed one bill passed federally, and we've got it. And you take the opportunities that you are given when you're given them.
Exactly.
But,
that's very good.
I can say one thing. These podcasts that I've heard in the last few weeks has been real good.
It's a team effort. Doug and I work well together, and we were trying to find ways that we could support people in kind of a stressful time, and we realized that technology had some answers. And that's another great way that people can utilize technology to keep in touch with their legislators and other influential people in the community.
Yeah.
They can go to their webpage, they could go email them, call them. And so I appreciate the knowledge and the support that you've shared for me, Kevin, that's allowed me to look at things differently and be able to reach out in different ways. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. But also, remember one thing. It seems repetitious, but repeat and repeat. You may have to do a segment 10 times before person with developmental disabilities get the message.
Well, I appreciate that, and I understand it too. I have 3 sisters and a brother, and we're all very different, and we learn differently. And it's a good reminder that all of us are different and maybe need things presented in a different way before we really understand what we're listening to or learning. So thank you.
Yes. I mean, that's one of the main things that I took away from Tennessee, and that's what I've tried to do while I was coordinator. And I think you're doing a great job with Melissa.
Yeah, we couldn't get along without her. She's just really bloomed here lately, and she's doing a great job with training and connecting us to people.
Yeah, she's reached out to me, and I've always encouraged her. You can
I
do
know
it.
she appreciates that.
And I know that, things are hectic in an office setting. You go in one in the morning, you got your day planned out. 5 minutes in the office, you've got a different agenda.
Well, no, Kevin, that never happened. No, this is a quiet 9 to 5 plan. Liz comes in with a plan and a clipboard, and it all just exactly the way she wants it every day. No one ever walks in. Now, while we've got you on the line, Kevin, I did want to ask you, 29 years ago you went to Tennessee. How much have we grown in the last 29 years, the progress that's been made by people like you and others going to Charleston or advocating in their own community? How much progress have we made so that people are living in more independently? And then follow that up with, what should we be doing next? We obviously aren't finished yet. So how far do you think we've come? And then what do you think the next thing we need to tackle is?
Well, Doug, I'll answer the first question like this. Before I left coordinator's job, Tennessee was coming to West Virginia for tips to get restarted. That says something about West Virginia and where we should be going next. I think you guys have got the next step in front of you because you know more about what technology is out there. you're using technology more and more. This virus has made us use technology. Even I'm starting the video chat with people. That's something that I never thought I would do. But you've got to change with the times. And what worked 20 years ago may not work today. And you've got to be willing to be adaptive with technology. In fact, I just recently got a chair that will lift me up to the cupboards. I said, there's nothing in my cupboard that I want to go up that high. And the therapist says, yes, there is. And do you know, one day the ceiling fan in the front room light bulb blew. And I was able to reach up and take the chair up and change the light bulb. So, yes, that therapist was right. I needed the technology to lift me up there.
Very
but
good.
I just did not see it at the time that she was trying to talk me into it.
That's a good lesson for all of us, really, that there are other avenues and tools that we can use to reach our goals. So,
and
great
sometimes
story.
we may not realize it at the moment when we're being told, well, I'll never use that.
There's always something new in everyday life that if you stop and embrace it, that you can use. Because I've been in conferences that I'm presenting with different nationalities and everything else. So, you know, if you don't let yourself grow as you're going along in a program, you're cheating yourself and the people that you're trying to serve.
Very true. So our last question for you, and it's the same question we've been asking everyone, is what are you doing to allow yourself to relax and have a little more peace while we're under kind of a different situation with the coronavirus right now?
Well, after staff leaves about 10 o'clock at night, I've got Alexa by my bed, and I turn on some old music, usually gospel music, and I leave that on till about 5 o'clock in the morning. Wake up and switch on the news. And everybody don't want to watch the news, especially if it upsets them. But I find it amusing to see how much people have to backtrack and cover up what they have said the day before. It's the comedy team.
I understand what you're saying, and I, too, look at many things with humor, so I appreciate that about you. And Doug and I are so glad, first of all, that we have your support, your experience, and your dedication, and also that you took the time to be here with us today. And we hope that before too long we get to see you in person.
I hope the virus gets over with and don't take too many. And if we don't have people first this year because of what's going on. We can Skype in or video chat or use technology and still have some kind of communication or something like that.
Well, you read our minds. Doug and I have been working on a backup plan just like that. So we're glad that you're on board with that as well. Hopefully we won't need it, but we want to do something so that we can stay in touch and be able to share education.
And if I can be of help through the conference, open it up or something by tape or by being in person, I still got a set of lungs on me.
Yeah, I made the mistake of telling Kevin when we were setting this up that he could talk as long as he wanted, and then I instantly regretted that because Kevin likes to talk. He knows I'm just teasing him.
Yeah.
He has good information.
Yeah. Kevin Smith, who
Doug always turned down the PA system.
Yeah, I'll just turn down the PA system on you, Kevin. Kevin Smith is joining us today. Kevin was the first self-advocate coordinator before Melissa, and Kevin actually went to Tennessee and brought people first to West Virginia, and now we're still continuing to work to carry it throughout West Virginia. And we appreciate what you've done, Kevin, and appreciate your support and time, and hopefully we've encouraged other people at our meeting earlier this year. For people who obviously weren't at the meeting and are listening, one of the suggestions for a theme for one of the future conferences was that we were standing on the shoulders of the people that had come before. So thank you for being one of those folks that have come before, but that also sets a nice goal for everyone else to keep on doing things and being involved. So thank you, Kevin, for your time and all your work.
You're welcome. If I can help do anything in the future, just contact me.
Bye, Kevin.
Bye, Kevin.
Bye.
That was a lot of great information, and we want to keep providing you interviews that are helpful. If you have an idea for someone we can talk to, just let us know. And if you are doing something fun like gardening or making crafts or painting or even baking, send us pictures. We'd love to see them and share them with everyone.
And if it's something that you think others might like, share the recipe with us. We can share it with everyone that everyone can bake, because I know lots of people have been trying out new things while they're all at home.
Looking ahead to Monday, we want to invite you to join us for an interview with Mark Spradlin from the Ark of the Three Rivers in Charleston. We'll find out how they are keeping things going during the pandemic and working with people they serve, and how some of those people have been affected. That's all on Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone.